Hello Internet, my name is Damian Michaels, but you can call me Blue, and welcome back to another episode of Blues Brews. This week, we're headed to explore to foretell our opponent's doom with Doom Foretold Control. Doom Foretold is a card that I've loved since it was in Standard, and I tried so hard to make it work at the time, but it felt really clunky most of the time and didn't feel very doomy. But now we have some really important new cards to help supplement our 4 Doom Fortolds, and that's 4 copies of Braids, Arisen Nightmare, and 1 copy of Rottenmouth Viper. Braids works kinda like another copy of Doom Foretold, allowing us to sacrifice our stuff for value to force our opponents to sacrifice something of theirs. Of course, they can choose not to, but then we draw a card and they lose life, so it's usually better if they make the sacrifice. Rottenmouth Viper can usually be cast for 1 mana by sacking our stuff like Hopeless Nightmare, Hopeful Vigil, and Treacherous Blessing, but the problem is we oftentimes sacrifice everything to Doom and Braids, so we don't have much we're willing to sacrifice to Viper itself, and that's why I'm only playing 1. But in the situations where it's good, it's really good. We're mostly black-white, but we're splashing blue for 2 important cards. Supreme Verdict to help keep us alive, it's just the best sweeper available in the colors, and Dance of the Mance. As we sacrifice all of our fodder enchantments and even Doom Foretold itself, we can get them back with Dance to get even more value out of them. If we happen to get up to 8 mana, we can Dance for 6 and turn everything we get back into creatures, allowing us to represent lethal fairly easily. But even if we're not casting it for full value, it's still bonkers cast for 3 to 5 mana. Anyway, let's find out just how well Esper Doom holds up in today's Explorer meta. Alright, so we're playing some Esper Doom in Explorer, and our opponent is playing Karuga as their companion. I think we're going to go ahead and keep this. We know that they're not going to have much early because of Karuga, so it's fine that we have all these tap lands. And even though No Other Run's probably not going to do much, we can at least sacrifice it to Braids or Doom Foretold, and then we can always get it back later with Dance of the Mance if it ends up becoming relevant. But it's going to play a Triumph, which is fine. It's kind of what we expected. We'll play a Deserted Beach and pass. We do kind of want to draw another land, so we're not dead in the water, I suppose. Okay, there we go. Play the Shattered Sanctum, and I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Oath of Kaya and shoot their face with it. So that way we have something to sacrifice with Doom Foretold, just in case it ends up sticking on the board for some reason. Like with Fable and Mirror Breaker right here. We're going to go ahead and play the Shipwreck Marsh, and get down the Doom Foretold, and pass the turn. Make them sacrifice the Fable. They can't sacrifice the token because Doom Foretold makes them sacrifice a non-token specifically. Okay. And opponent plays a Temple Garden, untapped, into a Fires of Invention. Okay, that's a card. Unfortunately. I don't think I have anything to deal with enchantments, even though I probably should. That's annoying. Oh. Okay. They didn't take anything, they just ran it out there. Okay, so they don't have to sacrifice it to fires. Got it. That makes sense. Well, we're going to go ahead and play Hope of Vigil. Make a 2/2. And we're going to play a Nowhere to Run and get rid of this Goblin. Then we're going to play Hallowed Fountain and pass the turn. They're going to sacrifice the Touch of the Spirit Realms and draw a card. Fable again, interesting. And Karuga to hand. Alright. Into another Touch of the Spirit Realms. They're going to take our token. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Hopeful Vigil so we can scry before our draw step. I want both of those, so I'm going to keep those. I'm going to Treacherous Blessing, which is going to allow us to draw the Godless Shrine. Then we're going to play the Godless Shrine untapped, and then Braids. We're going to go to end step, sacrifice the Underworld, Treacherous Blessing. And let's see if they do anything with that. They can sacrifice one of 3 things to it. Either the Fires of Invention, the Fable, or the Touch, yeah. So they're going to sacrifice something to it, but now they have to sacrifice something again to Doom Foretold. Okay. So they sacrifice the Fable, that's fine. Into an enigmatic incarnation, my bad, I can't read. That's fine. I can't do anything about it anyway. I do like that our Doom Foretold and our Braids are keeping our opponent's enchantments in check, even though we don't really have hard enchantment removal for some reason. I came prepared for creatures. I did not come prepared for anything else, so mostly just relying on Doom Foretold to keep everything else somewhat under control, since we can get rid of creatures pretty easily. We're going to get rid of this Nowhere to Run. And that is a Restless Anchorage. I can get back 4, and I can cast this for 4. I think we go ahead and do that. So we're just going to get back all of this. Autopay. So we're going to shoot Karuga, and give Karuga -3/-3, so that way we get to kill it. And then we get to draw some cards. I will play this. Put a Beseech on top, absolutely. No attacks. And then I will sacrifice this Treacherous Blessing. Do you wish... Okay, they're gonna do that. Then they have to sacrifice Fires. Okay, that's fine. It's okay with me. Unless they have another Fires. Oh, they have a Farewell. There's... Oh. This attack doesn't make sense if they don't. I'm gonna cry. They have a Farewell. Oh! Oh, oh, that's not a Farewell. Ah, that's fine. That is okay with me. Ooh. I mean, you do you, buddy boy, because I'm just... Oh, no, no, no! No! I clicked the wrong button. My bad. My bad, guys. That's okay. We will just overcorrect Trial of Ambition. Make you sacrifice something. You get rid of the token. That makes sense. We will play the Restless Anchorage. No attacks. End step. I will sacrifice the Trial. Draw Treacherous Blessing. That's fine. So I've got 3 that I can get back. Okay. That's annoying, but that's okay. No block. I really goofed that Beseech the Mirror. I was so excited to cast it and then I clicked the wrong button. Oh, and then they played a Titan. That is annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can meat hook for 7. I'm gonna do it. Meat hook. Well, let's attack first. I might as well. It'd be stupid not to. Alright. And then 5, 6, 7. Auto pay. Get rid of everything. Gain 3 life. Pass the turn. I need to get rid of this somehow. Getting back Doom Foretold is probably a good start. Let's start with Braids. Hopeful Vigil. And then I will end with Treacherous Blessing. So that way I don't take damage from casting those spells. Try to preserve a little bit of my life total. I had other things I wanted to cast anyway, so... Yeah, and then we're fine. So I'll just play a tap land and pass the turn, and at the end step I'll sacrifice it to Braids. Unless they kill it. That'd be annoying. I'd prefer if you didn't. Bro, why would you do that? That's fine. Whatever. I'll live. Ugh, and the Enigmatic Incarnation. Okay, so you get to go get a 4-drop enchantment. Okay, you're gonna... Oh, 4-drop creature, my bad. So you go get to get Pisa. Okay. I thought I saw a trigger on the stack, but that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and... What's in my graveyard? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 4? I have 4 that I can get back? Okay. It's not enough. So let's go ahead and... Let's Hopeless Nightmare to start to get rid of that last card in their hand. Then... I'm going to go to combat and see if they block with Pisa, because then that'll make it easier to meat hook. I won't have to meat hook for 5, I can meat hook for 3. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's meat hook for 3. Auto pay. And then I still have enough mana for Braids. Play Braids. Oh, and I still have even more mana, so I'll just play my Hopeful Vigil too. And then make a 2/2, go to end step, sack this Treacherous Blessing finally. I wanted to do that last turn, but opponent had other plans with that Otawara. Surprised we're keeping up with this in all reality. Ooh, that should just win this game. So we're gonna attack with everything. And then we're going to Rottenmouth Viper, sacrifice all of these things. Keep the nowhere to run. Yeah. And then pay for the rest of it. Because yeah, there we go. Yeah. They dipped like guacamole. Alright, so we're playing some Esper Doom in Explorer, and I actually kind of like this hand. We're going to go ahead and keep this. I've got Hopeless Nightmare on 1, Nowhere to Run on 2, into Braids or Oath of Kaya on 3. I'll play Braids if I don't have to kill anything, and I'll Oath of Kaya if I do. But this is a pretty good hand. The white sleeves over here make me think that they are on mono white. They may not be, but we'll see. We're going to go ahead and play this untapped and then Hopeless Nightmare. See what happens. They mulligan too, so this is a little bit more brutal too than normal. I wanted to play Thoughtseize. I originally was, but then I had problems with not having enough enchantment, so I determined that Hopeless Nightmare was a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and play the Plains, because if they don't play anything for me to kill, I don't want to take life to shock in Watery Grave for Nowhere to Run, since I can just shock this in next turn anyway, and it actually go to use. Or I can draw something else and then not have to shock myself, and then that's fine. Opponent's going to play a Deserted Beach, that's okay. And here we go, not having to cast our thing. So we're going to play this, untapped, and Braids, which will resolve. End step, sacrifice Hopeless Nightmare. Draw a Hopeful Vigil. I do want the land, and I'm going to get rid of the Dance. Dance is not good enough yet. I don't have enough built up yet. Restoration of Aganjo, certainly an interesting card. They discarded Portal to Phyrexia earlier. I saw that, but I didn't say anything about it because I was talking about something else, but it's definitely an interesting grab. Let's go ahead and play our Hopeful Vigil, make a 2/2, and we're going to go to the, well, attack first, and then go to end step. I'm going to sacrifice this Hopeful Vigil to see if they want to sacrifice their Restoration. If they do, great. If not, whatever. Okay, awesome, they do. Great. I didn't want to deal with that anyway. And then I do like seeing 2 lands. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Hallowed Fountain, but I do want to keep the Deserted Beach and pass the turn, and hold up Nowhere to Run in case we need it. Opponent plays a Plains into another Restoration of Aganjo. That's interesting. They sacrificed the other one. I don't know why they wouldn't just have 2 going, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and draw the Deserted Beach we knew about. Let's go to combat, attack for 5, and let's just put Yorion in hand. I don't need to do anything else. I'll just pass the turn. And let's go ahead and sacrifice our token. I think that's fine. Ooh, Dance of the Ants. That's a little bit better now. Would have been not great earlier, but I'm fine with it now. Because it might get good later. Oh, what are they doing? They've got to be some kind of... That is what they're doing. Okay. You may look at the top card. Okay. That is not as broken as it could have been, but that's worse. Okay. Sure. That's why they were so happy discarding everything. That's fine. We'll sacrifice our braids. I'm just gonna go ahead and run this out so that way it's on the board, but I might be able to just win the game. So let's Oath of Kaya. Shoot your face. And then let's sacrifice the Oath of Kaya. Okay. And that's fine. You can get braids back. I'm okay with that. Because as long as they don't gain any life or exile my graveyard, we can untap and Dance of the Mats and get back Hopeless Nightmare and Oath of Kaya, which will just win the game. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. That is too. Okay. Sure. Oh no, that gains you life. Okay. Okay, we'll see. Maybe. So let's start by dancing for 3. Get back all of this. We're going to shoot your face. Make a 2/2. You discard a card, lose 2 life. So you go to 1. Trial of Ambition. I think I played this wrong. I think if I had used Oath of Kaya on the braids and then trialed, they wouldn't have any blockers. I could attack for 3, then at end step sacrifice the token. They don't have a creature, so then they die, go to -1. But because I did it this way, I don't know if I can win this turn at least. Let's get rid of the Hopeful Vigil. Definitely think that was a misplay. Maybe if I had thought that out for another second or 2, I may have found the line. I'm actually going to keep that. Because if worse comes to worse, I can just play that and then start attacking with that. But hopefully that doesn't come down to that. But we are at the point of the game where they have to start really heavily defending themselves. They're at 1. Yeah, that's fine. I fully expected that. Okay, they're gonna exile Braids. If they keep my stuff alive, then we can Yorion and blink the Hopeless Nightmare and the Oath of Kaya, and that should close out the game. But... ooh, okay. Okay, they're gonna exile our token. Interesting. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to Yorion, blink all of our things, play the land, go to end step, everything returns. You're going to sacrifice your braids, and then I'll shoot you in the face for 3, and then you're also going to lose 2 from Hopeless Nightmare. We definitely could have won a turn sooner if I had thought out that line a little bit easier. We could have Oath of Kaya the braids, Trial of Ambition away the flipped Iganjo, and then attacked. But definitely a misplay to have hit face, but I was just really excited about the line. But I think if I had thought about it a second longer, I would have seen it the other way. Because I saw it during combat, and yeah, that was definitely a misplay on my part. But it didn't cost us the game, so that's good. Alright, we're playing Esper Doom in Explorer. And this hand's pretty dope. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. We've got Rafine's Tower on 1. We can Hopeful Vigil or Nowhere to Run on 2, depending on what our opponent does. Draw ninjas. I'm actually going to go ahead and Trial of Ambition since I drew it. This can prevents them from ninjutsu this turn, which I think is kind of relevant. Then they're going to go ahead and play a Watery Grave. Satoru is interesting. This is a really good card. We're going to go ahead and Oath of Kaya down. Keep them from doing anything. I think our deck lines up really well with ninjas. Okay, Biting Palm Ninja's fine. Because we're going to go ahead and play the Swamp. We keep going Runner, which is nice. We keep drawing untapped lands. But Doom Foretold's going to make them sacrifice the Biting Palm Ninja. There we go. So they just can't get anything to stick on the board. 2 ninjutsu at our face. And then we still have this Nowhere to Run and Hopeful Vigil. They should be playing Thoughtseize. So we should expect that. There's 1,000 Phase Shadow, so that's something. Okay, so they're just going to pass. That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and sacrifice this Oath of Kaya. Since it's legendary, I feel like that's the most important thing to sacrifice. Then we're going to go ahead and play this Hopeful Vigil to get a knight on the board. And make the 2/2. There we go. We'll play the Rafine's Tower and pass the turn. We're going to hold up this Nowhere to Run. I imagine we might be able to try to get them whenever they try to play a... that's interesting. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this now. Oh, they might have a Spell Pierce. That's going to make me cry if they do. Or maybe they just have a second Fatal Push. I don't know. Okay, so that's fine. We're going to get the 1,000 Phase Shadow. Okay, and that's down. Okay. And you have nothing to sacrifice, so we get to make you discard a card. We draw a card. We get a 2/2. You lose life, gain life. Doom Foretold does so much. This card is really good. I'm glad I was able to concoct together some cards that actually worked for this. Moon Circuit Hack is nice. Well, let's put Yorion into hand. I'm definitely blocking this unless they have removal. I can't play Yorion this turn, so let's just go ahead and play the... I mean, yeah, let's go ahead and attack, because I can still block if they don't block, yeah. And they're not going to block, because they actually want to get a creature on board, so... Unless they have removal, I'm for sure blocking this Moon Circuit Hacker. Because I don't care about this 2/2, but they care about their 2/1. That's fine. It still dies to my 2/2, even if they take it up. Yep, for Emblem. Yep. So they still trade. I'm okay with that. Then let's go ahead and Yorion, and let's just blink everything. Play the Godless Shrine. That's the turn. Get our things back. Make it 2/2. Yep, there we go. And if they tick up to Emblem again, we can't block Kaito, so that may be what they do. No, they're just going to stun Yorion. That's okay. That's fine, too. No blocks. We'll take the hit. Ooh, Treacherous Blessing's nice. We're going to go ahead and just smack Kaito for 2 down to 1. Then Treacherous Blessing to draw some cards, unless they've got something to say about it. They definitely have something, but what, I do not know. Let's play a Godless Shrine, because I don't want to play either of these two. I don't know. I was thinking we could play both of these, but I would have to play them together. Okay, that's fine. So 2. Okay, that's fine. I'll take it. I was gonna try to know where to run it, but it's okay. Okay. That's okay. They're gonna go ahead and surveil and draw, so that's better than them ticking up to emblem again, because they're getting pretty close to making it difficult for our stuff to kill them, because our deck relies a lot on... Okay, that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. Because we're gonna know where to run. Lose a life. It's fine. Get rid of this Silver Fur Master. Untap. Trial of Ambition. Get rid of the Biting Palm Ninja. We lose another life, but that's okay. Then we get to attack down this Kaito, and now they have nothing on. Yeah! I was not expecting the concession there, but I do like that that got the win. Alright, we're playing Esper Doom in Explore, and I like this hand. We've got removal for stuff, and we've got Hopeful Vigil for an early game blocker, so we're going to go ahead and keep this. I have Restless Reef for turn 1, so we can get down a tap land. And then we have Iganjo for turn 2, so we can play Hopeful Vigil. I'd prefer to draw a different white source, but if I don't have a choice, then I'll play this so we can play this on curve. Unless they play something we need to kill, which they're not, because they're playing a tap land, so we should be fine. This is probably Green-White Company. Ooh, yes, I will definitely play the Godless Shrine over the Iganjo, especially if this is Green-White Company, because they play things that make it really difficult for us to function sometimes, so having a way to kill it without casting a spell will be helpful. So that's fine. We're going to go ahead and play this Watery Grave tapped and attack for 2. We're just going to hold up the Nowhere to Run, just in case they play something that we need to get rid of. If they play Thalia, then they play Thalia and we just get wrecked by that, but it's whatever. Otherwise, we can play... Okay, so this is not what I thought it was. I'm actually fine with this, whatever this is. So we're going to go ahead and Nowhere to Run and get rid of this anyway, whatever it is. Then, we're going to untap. I'll go ahead and play this Deserted Beach, and we're going to smash in for 2. And this time, I'm just going to put Yorion into my hand. We're going to pass, and then if they don't play anything, we can know where to run this. If they do play something, then we may be able to know where to run that. But we have our stuff here that we can blink with Yorion, which is fine. And then if they end up destroying it, then we can also get it back with Dance of the Mounts, whatever ends up needing to happen. I'm fine with if they get rid of our 2/2. We don't really care about that. It's just an upside of having a Hopeful Vigil in our deck. Hopeful Vigil is mostly there just as fodder, but it also puts bodies on the board, making it easier for us to do stuff. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and Yorion. This is fine. Blink, Hopeful Vigil, Nowhere to Run. No attacks. Move to end step. Nowhere to Run kills this, and then we make a 2/2. Then we get to pass the turn. Opponent is going to play a Seal from Existence to get our Yorion. That's fine. I think we might eventually just get rid of that, and so that's perfectly okay with me. And then we get to blink with our Yorion again. But we're not built around Yorion. Yorion just so happens to be good with our deck, so we use it. And I don't want to play this Iganjo yet, but it lets me sacrifice... No, I can just sack the Hopeful Vigil to the Braid, so that's fine. So that's what I'm going to do. If I get to draw a card, great. If not, whatever. Because if not, then I either get my Yorion back or I get rid of this Fight Rigging. Either way, that's pretty good for me. And I'm okay with that, so I get to Scry 2. I don't want another Braids, and I don't want to know if I want another Nowhere to Run. But These are both pretty good. I think I'll keep the Nowhere to Run. Nah, let's get rid of the Braids. I was thinking about keeping it as a backup just in case they get rid of this one, but I don't know if I want to do that. I think I'd rather just dig for something a little bit better here. Something that can realistically get rid of this. Maybe a Doom Foretold to go along with the Braids. Okay, so they're going to start pumping our stuff again. That's okay. We're going to draw that Nowhere to Run that we knew was there. We're going to go to Wombat and attack for 7. Oh, and then we just Oath of Kaya and win the game. So me babbling about Braids didn't even matter. We just had lethal on board. Alright, so that worked out pretty well. Alright, so we're playing Esper Doom in Explorer, and this hand's okay. It's not great, but Treacherous Blessing is pretty good. And if we find our third land, then we can Blessing to start drawing some cards. Let's go ahead and Hopeless Nightmare to make them discard. And then we can play the Hallowed Fountain tapped and pass the turn. So this is Goblins. I don't know how I feel about Goblins, especially in Explorer. Okay, we hit our land, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and kill this Snoop before it does any more damage than it already has. And then next turn we can play the Blessing to draw some cards, and hopefully that finds us our 4th land. Opponent plays a Chain Whirler, which doesn't do much, but it is a body on board. So let's go ahead and play Treacherous Blessing, start drawing some cards. Okay, we hit our land, so that's great. We'll pass. And we'll see what our opponent does. We do want to get this Treacherous Blessing off the board sooner rather than later, because it is going to hurt. But we're doing fine for the time being. Let's go ahead and play this Doom Foretold, because that will get rid of one of these Chain Whirlers, and then also let us get rid of our Treacherous Blessing on our next upkeep. Mono Red shouldn't be able to deal with the Doom Foretold. I don't know what our opponent did. My fiance walked into the room and it surprised me, and neither of us said anything. Just sat here in silence. Okay, Concealed Courtyard enters tapped. So I need to play this and get rid of this Chain Whirler. Play the Courtyard. Pass the turn. Opponent sacrifices to the Doom Foretold. Plays a land. And Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. That is certainly a Goblin Lord. Maybe we can just Supreme Verdict. Yeah, we're gonna Supreme Verdict this away. That's much easier. Or maybe we Meat Hook it. Let's sacrifice the Nowhere to Run. Not the Nowhere to Run, the Hopeless Nightmare. Go Scrying. Definitely keeping both of these, but I want the caves first so I can have the extra mana now. So we're going to go ahead and play that. Then we're going to play this for 3. Auto pay. Here we go. And get rid of everything. Gain some more life and pass the turn. Opponent has nothing to sacrifice, so we get to draw the damage this time. And then we can Doom for 4. Go ahead and attack for 2. Then we're going to Dance for 4. Get back everything. Play it. They discard a card, lose some life. We get to draw some cards. We're going to play Godless Shrine tap, pass the turn. Opponent loses some life. We sacrifice our Doom Foretold. We should have this pretty much wrapped up. We just need to actually end the game, which will just... There we go. They went ahead and scooped it up. Yep, pretty good game there too. Mono Red did not stand a chance. Poor Goblins. Like I said earlier, I love Doom Foretold, and this reminds me a lot of the old standard builds from back in the day. Those relied more on artifacts than enchantments though, and I think these various removal and utility enchantments provide better support than mostly card draw and ramp artifacts. That being said, Braids and Rottenmouth Viper are huge additions to the deck, providing some additional redundancy for Doom Foretold to help make things a bit more consistent, especially with 80 cards thanks to Yorion. I will say though, even though we went 5-0 in our games today, this deck does struggle against control quite a bit. If you end up playing this in best of 3, your sideboard should be mostly geared towards control and spell-based combo because the main deck is perfect against aggro, mid-range, and other creature decks. Anyway, that's everything for today. If you want to check out the deck for yourself, you can find a full deck list in the description below. While you're down there, feel free to tap that like button too. It adds 1 mana to the YouTube algorithm and I'd greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and subscribe so you can become a member of the Blue Crew today. If you want to see some more of my content, then you can click here to check out last week's video where we began our ascent to Mythic with Cool Claw Reanimator in Standard, or you can click here to check out the video I did with Big Bear where we played 50 copies of a single card in our Brawl decks.